Do you ever feel like you're working hard but still not making progress? It's like you're putting in the hours but something's holding you back. Here's the truth. It might not be a lack of effort. It could be hidden habits quietly draining your productivity. In this video, you're going to discover 5 of the most destructive habits that could be quietly ruining your productivity without you even realizing it. Let's start with procrastination, the classic productivity killer. It's that habit of putting things off, convincing ourselves we'll do it tomorrow. But when tomorrow arrives, we find another excuse, pushing it off again. Eventually, we end up with a mountain of tasks, feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Why do we procrastinate? Often it's about avoiding discomfort. We avoid the tasks that seem hard or boring, choosing instead to do something more pleasurable, like watching videos or scrolling through social media. But here's the irony. Procrastination ends up causing even more discomfort in the long run. Those avoided tasks don't go away. They pile up, creating even more stress and anxiety. So what's the fix? The best thing you can do is to simply get started, even if it's just a little bit. Tell yourself you'll work for 5 minutes, that's all. Once you start, you'll often find it's not as hard as you thought. The pain of doing the task is usually much less than the stress of avoiding it. The next habit that drains productivity is bad sleep habits. Many people underestimate how crucial good sleep is for focus, energy, and mental clarity. Staying up late, getting only a few hours of sleep, or constantly shifting your sleep schedule, these habits make it almost impossible to function at your best. Want proof? Try staying up all night and then go into a busy workday. You'll find yourself slow, foggy, and irritable. You'll struggle to remember details and make good decisions. Now compare that to how you feel after a solid night's sleep. Everything just flows better, doesn't it? Sleep isn't just rest. It's an essential part of your body's recovery and preparation for the next day. If you're aiming for optimal productivity, aim for 6 to 8 hours of sleep consistently. And it's not just the number of hours, it's about building a routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps your body balance important hormones, which boosts focus and mood throughout the day. When your body and mind are in sync, you'll have the energy and clarity you need to tackle your tasks effectively. Planning is another area people often neglect. Many avoid planning because they feel it's restrictive or too structured. They think they'll have more freedom by keeping their schedule open and flexible. But what they don't realize is that without a plan, they're leaving themselves open to distractions. An empty schedule doesn't lead to freedom, it leads to wasted time. As someone once said, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So what's the alternative? Plan your day the night before. Take 10 minutes in the evening to map out your top priorities for the next day. That way, when you wake up, you already know what you need to tackle. Instead of wasting your mental energy figuring out what to do, you can dive straight into the work. It's a simple shift that makes a huge difference. Then there's the issue of trying to do too much. In today's world, there's so much emphasis on hustling and grinding, and we often feel we need to be doing everything at once. We start multiple side hustles, follow dozens of influencers, keep up with podcasts, read several books, and fill our schedules to the brim. We think this constant busyness equals productivity, but in reality, it's just noise. Trying to do everything means you end up doing nothing really well. Productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Identify the few tasks that have the biggest impact and focus on those. Think about the goals that truly matter to you and let go of the rest. When you stop trying to juggle everything, you'll be surprised at how much you can accomplish with a more focused approach. And finally, let's talk about the phone. Smartphones are incredible tools, but they can also be one of the biggest productivity killers. Notifications, messages, and social media updates are constantly calling for our attention. Every time you check your phone, it pulls you out of whatever you were doing. Studies have shown it can take 20 minutes to refocus fully after a distraction. Imagine how much time we lose if we're checking our phones every few minutes. The solution? Create phone-free blocks of time. Put your phone on airplane mode, turn off notifications, or leave it in another room. Even a few hours without those distractions can make a big difference. Use this time to focus deeply on important tasks, and you'll get far more done than if you're constantly breaking your focus. Of course, these aren't the only habits that can drain your productivity. Things like lack of exercise, poor diet, and even a messy work environment can also play a role. But if you focus on eliminating these 5 habits, you'll see a noticeable improvement in your productivity and overall sense of accomplishment. And that's all for today's video. Hope you found these insights helpful. Remember, small changes in our habits can lead to big shifts in productivity. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips like these, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.